What's up guys, I'm Uriel Soto. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to add a line under your heading that grows on hover. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So, as you can tell, whenever I hover over this box here, you notice that this line will grow. And also when I hover over this one, a line will grow. Now there's two ways of doing this. The most common way is just adding a line directly under your heading. Just by adding some CSS. And then in this example, we actually use the divider widget. And as you can tell, whenever we hover over this box, it goes ahead and grows. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to go ahead and adjust this, maybe from the left, from the right, in the middle, and just how you can go about using this on your website. So let's go ahead and just jump in. So we'll start off with this one here. So I already added my CSS on here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start from scratch. So I'm gonna probably just remove this, and I actually added it to this box here under advanced and custom CSS if you guys do have Elementor Pro. But I'll be showing you where to add this if you don't have Elementor Pro towards the end of the video. So let's go ahead and start off with this one here. I'm just gonna grab this code and I'm going to paste it right inside of this heading CSS. So just go into advanced from your heading and then go into custom CSS, and let's go and just paste that right in. Now you will notice that it won't work, obviously, because we need to add our CSS class to that, and we're going to go ahead and call this I believe it's called headings, because we're probably going to add this to multiple ones. And now, as you can tell, whenever you hover, we have this line here. The only issue is that we want it to hover from the left side. So it's very easy. We can actually just remove this margin 0 auto. And if we remove this, because this is what's actually making it hover from the middle, or at least letting it grow from the middle whenever we hover on it. As you can tell, I believe, oh, okay, there we go. I know why it's doing this. Let's actually call this something else. Let's call this heading 1. And it's still grabbing my CSS from this one here that I originally had on there. So I don't think I removed that here. So let me go ahead and just add this here. All right. Now, as you can tell, whenever I hover over this, it hovers from the left side. But let's say, just want to give you different scenarios here. Let's say I wanted to maybe have this box hover, or have this heading hover whenever you hover this entire box. Well, it's pretty simple. We can just go into our column here, and then go into advanced, and let's go ahead and add a CSS class, and let's just call this box 1, for example. Of course, you can title this whatever you would like. And then let's go into our CSS here, which we added it in our headings custom CSS. And then we're going to go ahead and go into this one where we have headings 1, hover, and after. And I will explain the after and all that. So let's go ahead and actually remove this hover here. And what we're going to do, and I will have this CSS provided in the description if I didn't mention that already. So I'm going to go ahead and just add that CSS class that we called, which was believe box 1. So if you guys don't know how you set up how to add your class, you do have to add a period first and then the class name. Obviously, it is a little bit different if you're doing an ID. So an ID is you would pretty much just add the pound sign or the number sign, whatever you want to call it, in there. So anyway, now we're gonna go ahead and do a colon, and we're gonna do hover. So basically, whenever we're telling it that whenever our mouse hovers over this box here, we're gonna have the line activate. As you can tell, it does. So. And it works perfectly. Now, let's say we wanted to maybe add some spacing from the bottom. So I wouldn't really add it in my CSS. I would just honestly go in here and go ahead and add it in my padding. And then maybe we could just do 10. And there we go. See that? So that's how that works. Now, probably going to leave this at 5. Now, let's say I wanted maybe to have this line. I wanted it to maybe grow above it, not below it. So As you can tell, we have after here. So instead of after, so basically we're saying that after our element here, we want a line to grow, but I would like to I would like the line to grow before. So what you're actually going to do is do before, and I usually like to do 2 colons, but for some reason that's just how it was earlier. Now as you can tell, it's not working yet. So yeah, let's do 2 colons whenever you're calling out before and after. So I'm gonna go ahead and do before. So now whenever we hover over this, you will see that the line will pop out from the top. Now let's say that maybe I want to show a part of this line, right? So what we could do actually is we can just copy this one here and let's paste it right above it. Let's remove the hover state, and we don't really need this anymore actually. So we can remove box 1. Just make sure you add that period in the beginning of the headings 1. And as you can tell, it's there, but it doesn't remove, right? But we do want it to grow and hover. So let's just do 20 instead, or we can even do, let's see 15. 15 isn't too bad, right? But when you hover over it, you notice that it will grow now. So that's how we can go about doing that. And if we wanted to add some spacing, we can just go in here. Maybe from the top, we can do 5 or 10, whatever that may be. And there you have it. Now let's say you wanted to target multiple headings. You don't just want to do one, and you don't want to obviously paste the CSS a bunch of times, right? That's kind of redundant here. So let me go ahead and actually remove this, because so I can show you an example of how we can go about doing this. And I think I added the CSS above here, but I'm going to actually remove it and just redo it so you guys can get an idea. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this one here. I'm probably going to remove this later on, but I'm going to paste it in this section here. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this here. Now, currently we're calling out the box 1 and the heading. But you know what? I want to call out just this box. It's this one itself. So I can call this box 1 regardless, but I'm not going to, because it's gonna probably interfere with this one. So because I want whenever you hover over this box, this column here, the line's gonna pop out from the middle. Let's just go ahead and add a class to this, and I'm gonna maybe call this service. Yeah, I'm gonna call this service dash heading, and I'm gonna copy this one, and I'm probably gonna paste it. Actually, you know what? Sorry, don't paste this on the column. I just noticed that I ended up using Flexbox for this one. So actually paste this within your icon box. So just go ahead and paste that in, service heading, and then service heading. Now we might as well just add it to all of them. I know that you guys may not have this set up yet, but you guys can. And in case you guys are wondering where I built this this website, I actually do have a tutorial on how to build this on my Elementor responsive course. It's on Udemy. I have the link down in the description. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys can go ahead and check it out. And of course, you guys can go ahead and support me. So now that I've added those service headings there, we're gonna go into our section. We're gonna go ahead and add our service heading here. Now we will have to do something, because you will notice that it's not going to work, but don't worry. We're going to go ahead and fix that. We want it to activate on this service heading here. And we want to go ahead and add the line to our service heading, but you will notice it's not doing anything. And actually, you know what we can do? It's probably not doing anything because I don't have it on here yet, but so service heading, before and after. You know, we have 2 of them. It's not really necessary actually to even have this. Okay, so now it's working properly. So as you can tell, whenever we hover over this, it only hovers from the top, which that is what we did originally with this one, but we kind of want it to hover. Want that line to pop out right underneath our heading here, for each service, and we want it in the middle first of all. So let's go ahead and target this my icon box heading. So we need to actually go ahead and check out some of the source code to be able to target the right CSS element. So what we need to do is just go into your website, obviously outside of the Elementor editor, and then go ahead and right click and click inspect, and then go ahead and click on this little box with the cursor, and then we need to go ahead and target our heading here. So click on this. Now right now we can see that it's set up on span, but the one that we actually want to target is our Elementor icon box title. So let's go ahead and edit this with HTML, and let's just grab this code here. Let's copy that. And let's go ahead and paste it. Now we could just paste it in this one and replace it, but the thing is though, if we have any other boxes, any other icon boxes, it's probably going to affect it as well. So what we need to do is we need to actually add it after this. So let's go ahead and add it right there. Now it's not going to work just yet because I still need to adjust this. So now we can go ahead and just add it in here. As you can tell, now it's added, but the thing is, it's added towards the top. We want to go ahead and actually add this at the bottom, right under it. So instead of before, we want to go ahead and do after. Now, hopefully you guys are not getting confused by this. Like I said, I will have this down in the description. So you guys can just copy that over. So now let's go ahead and we need to go ahead and replace before on both of these. So make sure you have that. And then now, as you can tell, whenever you hover, we have that line, but it's not set to the middle yet. So anywhere inside of this CSS class here, we need to go ahead and add margin. So I'm just going to add it right under my background transparent, and I'm going to type in margin. Obviously add a colon in there right after margin, and we're going to do 0, and we're going to type in auto, and we're going to go ahead and end this. All right, with the semicolon. So then now, whenever you hover over this, you notice that we have that line popping out. So what if I feel like this is a little bit too close? So let's make sure that we add a margin right, and let's set that to auto, and then let's go ahead and add a margin left, and let's set that to auto as well. Now that will just move this line to the middle, as you can tell whenever we hover. And then from the margin top, we want to go ahead and add a spacing. So that's right above the line, right? We want to maybe we can do 10 pixels, right? Let's go ahead and end that with the semicolon, and there we go. So now we have that line. Let's go ahead and do 5 instead. Okay, so now that works perfectly. Okay, so I already showed you guys how to do this and add an existing line, how to grow that. I showed you guys how to do before and after. What else? Okay, so I think the last portion is probably this one. It's pretty much how to grow an existing divider already, in case you guys have that. I don't know what scenarios you guys may have, but I'm sure this will be very useful. So let me go ahead and show you guys what we have here. So I'm going to click on this section here. So as you can tell, whenever we hover over this box, it goes ahead and just grows my divider. Let me go ahead and click on my divider so you guys can take a look at what I'm talking about here. So whenever I go to advanced, you notice that we have our CSS class is going to be called line, pretty much what we're working with there. And then if I go ahead and go into my section and go look at the CSS, and as you can tell, for some reason I named this section Maz, or whatever you want to call that. I just added it as an example here. So what we can actually call it instead is maybe just call this amazing box. That'd probably be a lot better. And now let's go ahead and just change this here to amazing. Let's go ahead and add a dash. Sorry, in between that, my bad. Add a dash and then a box. All right. There we go. Okay. So, like I've gone through this before, basically whenever we hover this amazing box section, the line will grow. And basically it's targeting the line here. And then this part is very important. It's an elementor-divider-separator. This is a CSS class that will target this line here. And then what we want to do is we want to transform it, and we want to scale from the x-axis, which is from the left to right. And then we obviously are going to add important because we want this to be important. And we can go ahead and adjust how long it goes just by adjusting this. So maybe we can set this up to 8, and you notice, well, it would be super long, right? We can set it to 10 and whatever that may be, but I'm going to go ahead and set this to 4. I think that's a perfect size. And let me go over this one here. So this one is targeting the line here, and this is the element divider, of course, which is basically what I was going over here. And this will add the transition animation here. So transform 0.5. I probably didn't go over this part too much, and this is actually the animation duration. So maybe we can set this up to 1 second instead. As you can tell, it's going to be a lot slower, right? I usually like to use 0.5. It's pretty good. And then the origin, this part is important as well, because currently we have this set to the center, but you can actually have it set to the left side. And that's a cool part of that I like about using transform, is now we can have it grow from the left side, and then we can have this grow from the right. So in case you wanted to use this exact method that we were doing over here, but instead you wanted to use the divider instead, which isn't something I would suggest, because you're going to be adding another element, and it's not necessary when you can just do it with the CSS that I just showed you. But it's up to you how you want to go about doing that. But I did just want to show you guys that there. So let me go set this back up to the center and set this probably to 4. And there we go. Now just real quick, just because I like to go ahead and explain mostly everything, at least as much as I can. And I know you guys will have this question, is how do I mobile optimize this, in case you guys are having that issue. So let's go into mobile. Let's go into tablet first and check it out. So we're not having any issues there on tablet. It seems to be pretty good. But on mobile, let's just say that you know, we want the line to not grow as much, or you know what, for instance, this one here, right? So as you can tell, on tablet or on desktop, it's set to the side, right? But whenever I go on mobile, we go ahead and optimize this to be in the middle. I mean, where is it at here? That's right here, right? So what we could do is oh yeah, that was another thing I wanted to show you, how to target. Oh, I did show you up here pretty much. Yeah, same situation. Never mind, I already went through that. So let's go ahead and go into the CSS here. And maybe it's inside this one, is it? Okay, it's inside this one. So it's pretty simple. We're gonna go ahead and just add a media query, and we're gonna add some curly brackets, and we're gonna do a max width, basically wherever we want this to begin at, what size. So anything below this size, our CSS is gonna activate. So mobile seems to start at 800. So we're going to do a max width of 800. So basically anything below 800, the CSS is going to activate, and it's going to go ahead and adjust this. So we only really realistically need to just copy this one here, and let's paste it right in here. And as you can tell, I ended up adding an extra. I don't need this one. So all right, there we go. So we're going to paste that right in. And I feel like, yeah, I did mess this up. Okay. Sorry about that. Do not use curly brackets. Use these instead. There we go. Sorry about that, but yeah, it's gonna be media. I honestly forget what are these called, guys. If you guys want to comment down in the description. I always just have a brain fart and I always forget things. So max width 800. So anything below 800. We want to go ahead and close it with these brackets here. I don't know if you want to call them brackets, but yeah. And then I know these are called curly brackets, and then we're gonna have our curly brackets, and then inside those curly brackets we're gonna go ahead and have our CSS class and our styles for that. So realistically, we only need we actually don't need any of these. Actually, we can completely remove it because regardless, the CSS is already getting activated from the desktop anyway, and it works for all the browsers. So we only gonna need to target one thing, and that is our margin. And like we've pretty much done this before, where I showed you how to center it. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do 0, and then we're gonna do auto in the middle, right? Auto, which will pretty much move it to the middle. So now, as you can tell, whenever you hover over this, it expands, but it's also to the middle. So that's how that works. And let's say we don't want the line to be this big, because let's be real, it is kind of big. So maybe we can go ahead and grab this one here, and we can paste it right under here. It has to be within these curly brackets for our media query. And we're gonna go ahead and remove the background. We don't need this. It's already being activated over here anyway. The only one that we need to activate on hover, unless we were going to change the color on, you know, different device. But we're going to go ahead and do, let's go and do 30 instead, right? So it doesn't grow as much. We can even do 25, right? Just to show you that it's actually getting smaller there. Yeah, let's do 30. All right, 30 is fine. That's pretty much it. I hope this video wasn't too long for you guys, but I did want to go over this quite a bit. I just feel like this is a good feature that you guys can add. For some reason, Elementor hasn't added this yet, but I'm sure they will in the future. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like the video for the YouTube algorithm so other people can find this video and also find it very helpful. And if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Now, as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.